Good morning. My name is Wyld Will, and welcome to my public access TV channel. G'day. And yeah, that's when I fixed that, and then I didn't do anything else for a while. So I did that in. I'm going to get this wrong, but I'll edit it in. I'll edit it in for you so you can see the dates that I actually bought the radiators and all the parts. But I think it was August. I think. Of 2020. So COVID was on the high. But yeah, so I fixed that, and then I didn't do anything to it until November, so it was just coming up to the height of summer, and it was roasting hot. And I was staying at a friend's, and I decided to, completely out of the blue as well, I'd noticed that there was spotting under the car, it was leaking oil, and it was dripping out. It was like filling up in the bell housing of the transmission. So I decided to just spontaneously start fixing it on his driveway. So before I did that, went on eBay again and ordered myself the workshop repair manual for the car. And then got to work making a complete mess of his driveway for the next week. Basically, I was still trying to figure out what I was doing, and it was somewhat of a bad translation, because it was the workshop repair manual was somewhat of, I'd say, a bad translation. Maybe it was a dodgy rewrite or something I'd got. And as I was going through it, so the driveway that I was doing it on was about, I'm not sure what angle that is, but it was like that, and it was curved. It was a bit curved, but I mean, it was sketchy. It felt really sketchy doing that repair. Having a car on jack stands, on a slope like that, and being underneath it whilst you're ripping parts off. It's still not the most sketchy thing in the whole job, but it got me used to being pretty sketchy. So yeah, I just made a mess of the guy's driveway, got in his way, and I eventually got it fixed. So I had to rip off the. So basically, I thought it was I diagnosed it as the oil pan. So I had to. What did I have to take off? I had to take the front differential off, which I actually couldn't take. I couldn't actually take the whole thing off in the end. At the time, I didn't want to go buy more tools, things like slide hammers and all that sort of stuff. So I just ended up having to work around a bunch of the steps and move parts out of the way as much as I could without taking them out completely off. So it was actually quite fun. It was actually very fun. So yeah, the most difficult bit was actually reseating the oil pans. It was a very, very fiddly car to do it on. Suzuki, they seem to like cramming as much in as possible. It's not a small car, but I mean, for a V6 4-wheel drive, there's a lot going on under the hood of that car for the amount of space that there's actually available. You can tell the engineers are pretty genius, the amount that they managed to pack in there. And I guess the main issue is getting your hands into some of those crevices to get your ratchet on, and even try and move the ratchet was was pretty difficult, especially when you're, I bought $100 Stanley toolkit, and that's what I did it with, and it worked. It worked. It was difficult. It's not like having a $5,000 snap-on set, or like got every tool you need plus a bunch of spare pipes so you can get leverage on your ratchet and stuff like that. So yeah, it was difficult getting that done. And then so I eventually got it done, and I was exhausted. I was absolutely exhausted. The sun was just baking down, and you're on the hot driveway under a car. You're covered in oil and grease, which I think I was very run down mentally by that point anyway. I'm not going to go through all of the experience basically, because it was quite wild, and I've got future videos to explain some of that. But yeah, it was pretty wild, and I was very mentally exhausted. So yeah, I eventually got done, and then it came up to Christmas, and for my Christmas I decided to start buying. I wanted to upgrade the car a bit more. Well, actually, just do some upgrades, because I'd done some repairs, but I hadn't done any upgrades. So I purchased a Lavelle 2-inch suspension kit for it. A new radio, because the radio that was in there, I think, was broken. It didn't have. I think it only accepted CDs, and it didn't have an auxiliary or anything like that. So I replaced. Yeah. So I bought a radio, a suspension lift kit. I think I bought an alternator belt as well, because that car squealed, like really squealed. And then I bought some missile control switches as well. Yeah, I bought missile control switches, and then a new rear main seal. And sorry, this is actually a bit of a ramble. Yeah, the reason I actually, I'm gonna restart this one moment. Yeah, so the reason I actually did these repairs was because I'd taken a few days off work, and I'd driven from Canberra down to Bateman's Bay, and I think I was just camping for the weekend. And then Sunday on the way home, I was driving up past what's known as Pooh Corner. I can't remember what the hill's called, but Pooh Corner gives you a pretty good understanding of where it is if you know where Pooh Corner is. It's a little. It's basically this massive, this ridiculously steep and long hill. And I mean, it's long. It's like a few miles long of winding turns, and it's all steep. The whole road is just like, it's like that the whole way down. So going down is fine, but it was on the way back up that the car didn't struggle, but maybe about 2/3 of the way back up to the top, there was a bunch of traffic. So there was traffic from about 2/3 of the top to the top of the hill, and there was just traffic, and we were driving up it, stop and start every like 2-3 meters, and someone pulled up next to me and was like, "Mate, your car is blowing smoke everywhere, absolutely everywhere." So I pulled over, and yeah, there was just steam, smoke everywhere.
Good morning. My name is Wyld Will, and welcome to my public access TV channel. G'day.